The Spurs NBA 2K24 player ratings are out, and what is the latest on Silver and Black?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, this is Chris Sabat, and you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you back. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great end of the work week. We'll get you through that right here on Locked On Spurs. Locked On Spurs is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Ken's 5 Plus app, so much more. And yeah, all about your silver and black. What are we talking about today? We can pretty much clearly see on the screen right now. NBA 2K24, the next iteration of the popular video game. They already released the Spurs player ratings. We're going to look at the top 10 highest overall rated players. Who are the top 5? Who are the bottom 5 in the top 10? Any surprises? Any head scratchers? We're going to dive into that and so much more. Also, some Spurs news and notes, including apparently a new Spur owns an island. So yeah, hopefully it's our guest. Maybe it's really our guest who owns that island. We'll introduce him shortly. But yeah, we're going to be talking about NBA 2K24 player ratings in a few minutes. But one thing that I think everybody already knows is that Victor Wembanyama is the highest ever rated rookie in the popular video game. That's the Wemby effect for you, everybody. It's not just on the court when you go to the Frost Center to check him out, or on the road or buy his jersey. He's impacting even the virtual world. And that tells you just exactly what the Spurs have on their hands right now. And that could be good or bad. It could be good because, yeah, he could transform the franchise overnight. He could be the next power player in the NBA. He could be the face of the franchise wearing that Spurs uniform. Bring more national TV games. We're already seeing that already with the in-season tournament and so much more. And there's a lot of stuff that you already know about his impact. But just the fact that he's already the highest rated NBA 2K24 Spur and rookie of all time should also make you pause a bit, saying like, man, that's just another layer of this hype machine. Look, I think a reasonable person would say they have to temper expectations to a degree. His stock is high right now, and a lot of people are buying in while his stock is high. You look at the trading card world. I'm pretty sure we've covered that here pretty well on the card side of things. His card sales are outpacing even David Robinson. Yeah, David Robinson's card still remains one of the top selling cards. It's eclipsed him. It's eclipsed Hakeem Olajuwon. eBay had a recent sale of just one Victor Wembanyama card went over $10,000. Sure, it's rare. Sure, it had its autograph, but that just tells you how much the Wemby effect is taking a hold of not just San Antonio, the NBA, but the world. So that's a lot for a 19-year-old kid. We'll see if he can live up to it. I think he can. I mean, he was the man in France. That Mets 92 team was built around him. He lived up to the hype. And it's not that he didn't get any NBA-ish experience. He played a couple games against the G League Ignite over the summer, and that friendly match between Scoot Henderson and him. Then there was the NBA Summer League. Got 2 games in. Looked really good one game. Looked decent in one game. So we shall see. And I think we're at the point now where, yeah, we just got to stop talking, and now he has to walk the walk. So everybody's doing the talking. Everybody's doing the hyping, but now he's going to have to walk the walk, and we'll see if he can do that in just a few short months. But for more on the NBA 2K4 player ratings, it's going to bring our guest who's going to help me because I heard he is a pretty good gamer himself. He is Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. He is back, everybody. There he is. Not rocking the famous hat today.
No, we got MLB playoffs coming up in October. My Giants, surprisingly, are in the playoff hunt, wild card team. So got to rep the Giants until they choke and not make it after all. So rep them while they're good right now.
He is with Sweep the League. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at Sweep. It's not Twitter anymore, is it? It's called X, right? I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, I call it Xer. I mean, it's probably
Xer?
the X. It's the X, I guess. I don't know what we call
That
it.
sounded like something like Showtime After Hours, the Xer.
I can't remember what that was. Showtime After Hours. It was
Don't
HBO
let us
After.
don't let us know where you heard that from,
Oh,
Rudy.
no. It's some podcast I've been doing on the side there for a little bit. Gets a little crazy, so that's where all that comes from.
Well, speaking of podcasts, he'll talk about his show, Sweep the League, later on this show. A lot of stuff is cooking for Rudy, including fill-in host spot on YouTube. He'll talk about that in a while. But let's dive into this. The NBA 2K24 has released its Spurs player ratings. Look, Rudy, everybody knows by now Victor Wembanyama's rating. It was released before the rest of the roster got released. He is at 84, the highest rated rookie in the video game's history. Eclipsing the most recently high rookie, which was Zion Williamson. So it's no surprise. Well, maybe it might be a surprise to you. We'll see. At least I was not surprised to find out that 84 rating for him was the highest on the entire roster, eclipsing Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. I get it, but do you think he should be the highest 2K24 rated player?
I think NBA 2K is doing what the media's done, and that's bought into the hype and making him a lot more.
Let's make it very clear. Rudy has been kind of on the pump the brakes bandwagon.
I have been. I really have been. Now, I mean, for all intents and purposes, Victor's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be more effective on the defensive side of the ball than he is in the offensive side of the ball. But the 84 rating from NBA 2K, somebody is drinking the Kool-Aid over there, because I think that's a little too high. Honestly, I had him right around 79 rating, to be honest with you.
Really?
79, 78, 79, 80 at the most is what I had him at. But again, can't complain. I mean, it's more excitement to add to the San Antonio Spurs season coming up. Now NBA 2K is going to go sell another 2 million copies, because everybody in San Antonio is going to want one, including you and I, Jeff. I'm pretty sure we're going to get our copies here pretty soon.
Absolutely. And look, as far as the other intangibles concerned, 3-point shooting, dunking, defensive stuff, all that stuff, that's still kind of a TBA or to be determined, I should say, because those are just grayed out right now. That's just the projection on him right now. 84 highest rated Spur currently. Now, I'm gonna let everybody know, and Rudy, I think you know this, that number is probably gonna go up or down. So my thing is that if it goes up, well, great. But if it starts declining a bit, because the way the game works, it really mirrors the real player to the point where, let's just say Victor gets I'm making this up, gets a clothing deal with the Gap. Okay. Then you'll probably see the Gap on the NBA 2K24 platform. But if it starts declining, that should be your first thing to say, okay, something's up, because periodically throughout the year when the NBA season is going, you'll get updates. So the bar is set high, even in the virtual world. I think 84 is a good number. I'm not mad at it. It is the highest rated. As everybody knows, I cover the NBA 2K League. I've spoken to several players. They tell me that they've tried to recreate a Wemby player because they usually get the product before everybody else does. And a lot of them say they can't, that it's hard for them to create it without the game saying, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. So they've tried, but 84, the highest rated Spur. So no shocker there. Let's go on to the bottom four. Now, Keldon, I want to start off with, these are the top five. So it's Victor, Keldon, Devin, Zach, and Trey Jones. Those are your top five highest rated Spurs on NBA 2K24. Of the first five, Rudy, the one that I'm kind of surprised about is Devin Vassell, an 81 overall rating, a little too low for my opinion. What do you think?
I completely agree. I would, if I had to put Devin in a rating, I'd have him right around maybe where Victor's at, 84. He should be, in my opinion, probably the highest rated. Yeah, he should be the highest rated Spur on this team, is what I feel. But what surprises me about Devin is the dunk at 60. I mean, it's giving him a low score there. We've seen Devin get up. We've seen him dunk the ball. Same thing with Keldon at a 75. I figured it'd be a little bit higher than that. But, with Devin, 81, I'm okay with. I'm expecting it to go up throughout the season and into next season.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
way too low. He's way too low on that. I think even Zach Collins at an 80 is surprising to me, but
yes,
it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are some surprises now. As far as Devin concerned, the overall rating of 81, I would have bumped him up to a tie with Devin, like an 84. I think what you saw there, the developers saw that maybe he's injury prone because of last year. But this is also, from whether it be Devin or Keldon's dunk rating you mentioned and Devin's dunk rating you mentioned, this is where I say, hey, developers, tell me you didn't watch the Spurs without telling me you watched the Spurs. That's what it feels like, because this with Keldon, he was the second highest rated Spur on the game at 83, so right below Wemby. His dunk percentage should be higher because that's all he does. He just attacks the rim, Rudy. So that number needs to go higher. Let's talk about Keldon, though. As much as we say, like, nah, maybe his dunk rating is low. Here's where I say, again, developers tell me you don't know the Spurs without telling me. An 80 overall rating from the 3-point line? No way. That, I think, is a little bit too much for Keldon. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think because San Antonio is close to the Mexican border, these guys got the tequila way too early and started popping it up a little too much. But an 80 for a 3-point shooting for Keldon Johnson, it's pretty high. I would probably put him in the 70 range, right around there.
Yeah, I might drop it lower.
It could be. I think 70 for me would be okay. 75 on the dunk is, I mean, you see Keldon throw these monster dunks in games, and it's like, okay, he's one of the better in-game dunkers when it comes to that. 75 is way too low, but the 83 overall for Keldon, I can't disagree with it. I like it there. He's right good overall as 83. I still think the other two ratings, a 3-point and dunk, are just I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they were definitely not watching the Spurs last season. We're with Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. When we get back, we're going to continue talking about the Spurs player ratings, round out the top 5, and then continue talking about the top 10, so 6 through 10, who got into the top 10, and much, much more right here on Locked On Spurs. Hey, I want to talk to you about FanDuel. Take your first swing at betting MLB on FanDuel and get 10 times, you heard that right, 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. It's a lot of money. That's right. Just bet $20 and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. Check it out. That's $200 you can spend betting from everything from the money line to the over and under to who you think is going to be the first home run. All on an app that's safe, secure, super easy to use. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. I mean, what more can you want? Well, there's no better place to bet on MLB than on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. I go there. I love they're looking at their NBA futures, the projections on the Spurs and Wemby. It's all there. You got to go to FanDuel right now. Sign up today. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOnNBA and get up to $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/LockedOnNBA. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. And we are back right here on Locked On Spurs with Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. Follow him on Twitter at Sweep the League. Demand the hat to be back. How dare you disappoint the fans, Rudy?
I got to keep them coming back. I got to mix it up every now and then. So definitely next time I'm on, I'll bring the 2-0 hat.
Your lowest player rating went down right now because you didn't wear the hat.
Oh man, what am I at?
To bring you down a couple of your hat game went down 2 points. You were at an all-time high of 95, and then it went down back to 93.
I'll bring it back next time. I'll bring the hat back.
All right, we're talking about the Spurs NBA 2K24 player ratings, and then later on we catch you up with some Spurs news and notes. Yes, and by the way, I know the Spurs schedule came out already by the time we're watching this. I had some scheduling difficulties. We couldn't get to a recording before that, but we will get to that ASAP right here on Locked On, probably early next week. But let's finish out the top 5, then get on to the 6 through 10. Zach Collins, I love you, Zach. But an 80 overall rating and an 82 3-point rating. No. I think that's wrong. I would have flipped him. I would have put Sohan up in the top 5 and moved Zach Collins down in the bottom 10. But we'll talk about Sohan in a bit. But Zach Collins at an 80 overall rating, 82 3-point rating, and a 65 dunk rating. No. I think the developers got this one wrong completely across the board.
Yeah, this is kind of surprising to me. I haven't seen. There's one player we'll get into later that I actually find really, really level and really good for the rating.
Yeah.
But Zach Collins on an 82 3-point rating. I mean, again, we love you, Zach, but I've never seen you drop 3-pointers like crazy to get that kind of rating. So the 65, I can kind of get with that. You don't see Zach really throwing it down a whole lot, but he's a big man, so you would expect it to be a little bit higher than that. But the 80 overall, again, you're right. I would be flipping Jeremy with Zach on that. I think Jeremy gets the 80. Zach is around that 78 mark.
Yeah. And then my favorite moment of this episode.
Never fails.
Who's number 5? Who's the fifth highest rated Spur?
Shouldn't be Trey Jones. He should be gone. But
it's
talking
about a Dookie.
And you know what? It's funny because you're wearing the Duke color of the sweater. So I mean, it's kind of making it even worse here. But Trey Jones at a 79. You know what? I have no problems with Trey Jones at 79. Yeah, most consistent Spur last year from top to bottom, filled the stat sheet left and right. 73-point three-point shot. I give him that. I know he's going to improve his 3-point shooting.
Yep.
Of course, he really can't dunk the ball, so 35 is a perfect thing. Right. He's one of the few guys that I think the NBA 2K guys got it right on.
Yeah, they got this on the right. The only thing I would nitpick is the 3-point rating. I would bring it down a few points, maybe have it just under 70. But 70, sure, why not? Fine. Yeah. You talk about, Trey Jones, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Take care of the ball, Mr. Available, Mr. Dependable, Mr. General on the floor. He, as of right now, I got him as the starting season point guard. I know there's some chatter about campaign. Well, I don't know anymore. Spurs fans kind of soured on him recently. I think everybody knows why. But do you think the point guard spot for him is his to lose at this point?
It's been like that since DeJounte left. It's been Trey Jones' spot to lose. And what I love about Trey, even though he's a Dookie, and I can't talk good about a Dookie, but what I love about Trey Jones is that the consistency. He took the reins and he took the bull by the horns, and he took advantage of every opportunity Pop's given him. He deserves all the good things that are coming to him. I'm really glad he's going to be the starting point guard. If he's not, I'm going to be very disappointed in the coaching staff because I do not know what they're seeing if they're not making Trey Jones a starting point guard.
Yeah, I got him in. I penciled him in as a starting PG. But overall, I think as far as the top 5, they got Trey Jones right. Zach Collins should not be a top 5 overall rated Spur. They got Devin Vassell wrong. And they got Keldon not wrong per se as far as overall rating, just for him and Keldon, just like the detail of the 3-point, the dunk percentage, the defensive percentage, all that stuff. So again, everybody, these numbers fluctuate throughout the season. We'll discuss that more in just a few seconds. Look at the bottom 10 or the bottom 5 of the top 10. Yeah. Number 6 is Jeremy Sohan with an overall rating of 78. Campaign overall rating at 77. He was the 7th highest rated Spur. Reggie Bullock, number 8, 77. More on him later. Malachi Branham, a 76 overall rating, and Devontae Graham, also a 76. Let's start off with the obvious. Jeremy Sohan, that is a guy we think should be a top 5. You definitely move Zach out. You replace him with Jeremy Sohan. 78. I think for me, what's bothering me is the overall rating, because I think his defensive number, what was it, like a 61?
Yeah.
A 61 rating. Are you kidding me, developers? No. I think his defensive rating should be higher, thus balancing out his overall rating. He should have left into the top 5. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and a lot of stuff comes into the overall ratings, as we know. Free throw shooting, which he struggled with until the very end of the season, where he developed that awkward shot. But his overall shooting is really low too. So on the 70 for the 3-point shooting, I'm kind of scratching my head on that. I mean, it's not that high. It
70
should be
is
maybe
high.
Yeah, it should be a lot lower than that. The dunk rating, I have no problem at 80. I think that's fine, but he should be around 80, 81 as far as overall goes, because they're not factoring in that defense. That defense has to be way higher, and it should be well over an 80 on that.
I think it's criminal that his defensive rating, what is it, a 61, I think?
Yeah.
61? Yeah. I mean, that is just, that again, another example of the developer is saying, tell us how you don't watch the Spurs without telling us you watch the Spurs. No, actually, I'm sorry, a 64 defensive rating.
That's what happens when you're not on national TV.
A 65 interior defense, a 74 lateral quickness. Listen to this, a 69 help defensive IQ overall rating. No. We know that he's a pest. A 69 drawn foul rating? They got him all wrong. If the defensive numbers should be starting, and in my point, maybe 70 on up for all the for most of the categories, not all of them. So definitely, Jeremy Sohan, his initial player rating is out. By the way, everybody, we're getting these ratings from 2Kratings.com. You can go and check them out. At least this is what they're telling us the ratings are. What I have issue with Malachi Branham. Now, in the sense, like, I feel like his number should be a little higher. Or do you think he's just a product of coming into just his second season? That's where we have him tied for, ninth, with a 76 overall rating.
I think with Malachi, and it's kind of funny you mentioned him, that's the kind of guy that I was looking at that I love the rating. 76, 74, 75. It's real even.
So you think his rating is
across
good?
The board?
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic, his rating at 76, 74, 75. Okay. He hasn't taken that leap yet, but he's right there. So that tells me that NBA 2K sees what a lot of us see, and that's his game is about to go up another notch. So I think by his season's end, you may see him in that 79, 80 overall range as long as he continues to play. He did in Summer League. But I have no problems with Malachi. I love that rating for Malachi across the board. That's the one thing that I feel they got right in this whole thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe for me, I would have bumped him up to a 79, but 76 is good. I definitely don't agree that he's tied with an overall rating with Devontae Graham. You look at his, sure, Devontae can knock down threes, but he's streaky. I wouldn't have given him an 81 overall 3-point rating. No, a 60 dunk rating. Sure, that sounds fair. Sure, he's explosive, but interesting. You figure with Reggie Bullock as being the NBA veteran that the developers would have a better sample size. A 77 overall rating, good. I mean, it's not bad. It's not horrible.
Yeah,
we know he's your basic 3 and D, so that's why you see the 3-point rating at an 82, which is good if the Spurs need. But campaign for number 7 overall. What do you think about that? For the 77 rating.
Basically, it's because he was running the show in Phoenix. And, it comes to national attention. Phoenix was getting a lot of national attention last year. So they got to see Cameron Payne a lot. 770 rating, I can let it slide. I'm not really upset about a 77 rating. I think the 80 is a little bit too high. I know he's a pretty good 3-point shooter, but I would maybe rank him a little lower than 80 on that. Right. But 77 overall, it's okay. I think it's just because he got a lot more exposure than a lot of the Spurs did. That's why he's so high.
Yeah. Well, those are your top 10 highest rated Spurs at this moment on NBA 2K24. Still disappointed. I think Rudy Campos should have came in with an 85 rating and beaten out Wembanyama.
Yeah, I was when I talked to the 2K guys, they had me at a 95, but then apparently they heard I wasn't wearing my cap, so they basically
see. I told you got to wear the cap. And that'll bump up your rating each and every time. But again, everybody, these numbers do fluctuate a lot throughout the season. So this is just consider this kind of a baseline right now. Leaves a lot for improvement and a lot for maybe some droppage as the season moves on. When we get back, we're going to catch you up on some Spurs news and notes. Apparently, Reggie Bullock is copying Rudy Campos with what he can do with all the billions of dollars he has. Find out what Reggie Bullock is up to. And much, much more right here on Locked On Spurs. And Rudy, I am sure you've been to Mudslingers recently, right?
100%. Actually, I was there this morning. I stopped by before work, and I didn't go to sleep till like 2 a.m, Jeff. So first thing I got was that alien drink, and I've been drinking that for a little bit, so I needed it.
So we had a little kind of back and forth with the last episode's guest, which was Casey Vieira. He said he could not handle a full can of Red Bull. Can you?
I've done it before. I don't like doing it, but if I need to, I can do that.
All right. Well, that's why you got to get the Alien, which is over at Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee. It's inspired by Wembanyama, hence the word Alien. It is just a full can of Red Bull with kiwi and Red Bull and red apple and kiwi. It's just really good. Go get it right now. Located in the Stone Oak area, they are a proud local sponsor of Locked On Spurs, and they're open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go check it out. From the alien drink to Rudy's favorite, the OG OJ. Back when Orange Judas was king. Remember those days?
Ingram Park Mall, man. Those were the days. You go downstairs.
Second floor. It was on the second floor.
Yeah.
Well, they recreated it at Mudslingers, and you can go get that right now. Again, get the OG OJ. Rudy, he's had it before. A lot of people in San Antonio have gotten it. Think of a dreamsicle. If you ever had the dreamsicle popsicle, think of that. Yeah. That's kind of like in the genre of it. They also have their signature drink, which is called the Mudslinger. It's dark chocolate, it's espresso, it's steamed milk, caramel. It's really good. Go get it right now. So they got that. They got the Red Bull infused lightning bolt series, which is really delicious. Add the strawberry. I'm telling you, add the strawberry. And they got donuts. You ever had the donuts from there?
You know what? I haven't had donuts from there. I will break my diet one day for them, Jeff. And
that's right.
Donuts.
Yeah. So maybe just have a half. That'd be your cheat minute. Yeah, but they have donuts there. They're really small. A lot of people, what they like to do, I don't know if you've seen it on social media, Rudy. They get the Mudslinger drink and they put the straw and they kind of put it like a ring.
Yeah.
Like that, and they like stack them. So go check it out. Again, located in the Stone Oak area near 281 and 1604, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive. 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive. Over 300 5-star reviews. Cannot be wrong. They got dairy alternatives. They got caffeine-free drinks. They got a good menu. You got to go check it out. Again, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee. And you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, TikTok. I mean, pick a platform. They are there at Mudslinger, SATX. Life is too short for bland coffee, but life is not too short for your San Antonio Spurs. Once again, we're here with Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. Let's go and get Rudy out of here. He's a busy man. Let's catch him up on some Spurs news and notes. And you know what? I think you have to pick a bone with Reggie Bullock. He's copying you. Did you know? Yeah. Did you know that just like you, Rudy, he now owns a private island?
Yeah, and what's funny is I got a phone call from Reggie before he did it asking if it was actually a good investment. And I told him it's fantastic. I go to my island, in the winter.
Rudy's actually there right now. He's just trying to be low-key about it. Yeah.
This is one of those fake backgrounds behind me. I have the ocean and the beach behind me here.
Yeah. All kidding aside, yes, in case you did not know, the newest member of the Spurs, I'm getting all confused. Reggie Bullock owns a private island in Belize. Now, this is something he started back when he was with the Mavericks. $2 million investment. He wants to have it for his family. And as mentioned, investment, he wants to have people come and buy homes, have resorts there and everything. He said he got the idea when he was playing with the Knicks. Then we played with the Dallas Mavericks. He got that going. And there's actually video of it. And he posted on his social media of the island itself, Rudy. It's not ready to go yet, but it looks very, very close.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a hike to get there. Not literally, but like you have to fly to this island, then go to this island, then take a boat to this island. Like it's a really remote, beautiful resort. If you got the bucks like Rudy does, maybe one day you can go check out Bullock Island. Yeah, and he literally named it Bullock Island. So,
I wonder if they're going to have an HEB there or something like that, or a Fred's Fish Fry is going to be a
or a Mudslingers drive-through.
Mudslingers is another one.
It would be a Mudslingers fly-through, probably. Yeah.
Do you think it'd be remember the Fantasy Island, Jeff? Do you think it'd be something like that? Maybe something like that.
We got to have the bell tower. Well, I mean, I don't know. Fantasy Island was the whole concept of Fantasy Island was like a mystery island, right? Like
where your fantasies came true and all that stuff. Yeah.
But again, you can check that out on KensFive.com/Spurs. In other Spurs news, speaking of the Wemby and the Wemby effect, the Spurs have announced that they have released over 1,000 more season ticket memberships. So if you need one, go get one. They're a little bit more flexible, affordable. So you want to check that out at KensFive.com/Spurs. Rudy, did you get season tickets for the upcoming season?
I have not actually, but my wife's kind of bugging me, so I think we're going to look into season tickets here.
Well, maybe you waited enough to get these more affordable ones now.
Yeah, where she wanted to sit was directly behind Wemby, and I said, "Babe, I can't afford that right now. Not right now. I don't make Jeff kind of money yet, but I will one day."
What do you mean? Talk about Rudy Campos money? That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, again, the Wemby effect, man. I mean, tickets are
it's good.
Crazy.
It's good because how many times have the Spurs in the past few years been in the red on ticket sales? I mean,
did you know they were in the red during the Big Three era?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. And that's the thing is they needed that kickstart to get the ticket sales back up and to get revenues up and, all that stuff. And Wemby's the one doing it. So hopefully, it works out for them and he stays for a very, very long time and he continues to sell more tickets. That means the Spurs are going to be profitable.
And speaking of Wemby, yes, again, a shocker, more Wemby. Apparently, there's the Wemby effect, and then there's the Sochan effect. And what I mean by that is the Sochan effect when it comes to hair color. In case you missed it, Wembanyama has a new, fresh look on his dome. It's a purple streak with blonde hair. Guess who influenced him? Take a wild guess, everybody.
I'll say Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, exactly. Dennis Rodman. If he has that dog in him like Rodman, I'd be okay with that. On the court.
Yeah.
Make that clear. On the court. Yes.
Leave Madonna alone.
Yeah, leave Madonna alone. But Wemby and Sochan are bonding fast, and Sochan got him to dye his hair a purple streak with blonde hair. It's fun in games. Sure, it's the offseason. Why not? But I hope that chemistry translates over into the court. And if this is how they're starting off with their chemistry, I mean, that's a nice way to start things out with the Wemby era. And they've already been in training camp, and more like volunteer training camp.
Off-season.
They're getting together at the they're going to be their former home soon at the practice gym where it is right now. They'll be moving to the new practice gym in a few months.
Yeah.
So all in all, good vibes at these voluntary training sessions. Sochan and Wemby are getting along. Bullock has an island. Spurs player ratings are all over the map. It is the off season, everybody. And once again, yes, we know that the schedule came out. Unfortunately, due to some time constraints, I couldn't make it in time for that. We'll be back at the next episode, which will probably be Monday, to look at the Spurs schedule. But Rudy has swept the league. Tell us what's going on, Rudy, with that. And you're a fill-in host on YouTube.
Yeah, so for Sweep the League, we're releasing episodes every single week. We're getting more into some basketball talk, a lot of NFL. NFL's wrapping up. Training camps already, kicked off already. We've got first preseason week already done. We're heading into preseason week number 2. So we're, doing our bashing of the Cowboys and gloating on the Texans and everything else. So be sure to stay tuned to Sweep the League. And like Jeff mentioned, I've been hosting and being a guest. So actually a fill-in host for Michael Jimenez on the MJ Acquired Taste podcast. You can find it on YouTube. Hit that, smash that subscribe button on YouTube. You can find it all over social media as well. So I think I'll be filling in, quite a few times for Michael here coming up while he's on a little bit of a hiatus. But it's fun. It's fun. We'll try to get Jeff on there to talk a little bit of trash talking on there.
Yeah, I filled in a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it going. We'll see what the future holds for that show. Follow Rudy on Twitter at Sweep the League. Demand that the popular white hat comes back. Get him. Cook him, everybody. How dare he not grace us with the white cap? Do you have it near you? Can you at least flash it to the crowd?
It's actually hanging on my cat rack in my other room.
Yeah, okay. So. We'll leave it there. We don't want to get it dirty.
It needs a break. It needs a break.
It needs a break. It needs to stop signing autographs.
It's Kawhi Leonard, basically.
No, then burn it. Burn it.
It comes on from time to time.
No. All right. Well, thank you for checking out this episode of Locked On Spurs. We want to hear from you. What do you think about the Spurs player ratings? Are you happy? You're sad? You're upset? You're ticked off? Are you kind of like me having some of these reactions? Some ratings are a little too high, a little too low. Again, you can let Rudy know on Twitter at Sweep the League. Let me know on Twitter at Jeff G's Spurs Zone. And we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. You guys are the everydayers. We'll be back Monday. Yes, once again, to talk about the Spurs schedule that's been released and much, much more. Probably some women. Go figure. But for Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.